Good evening, everyone. Poetry is the language of emotions, a dance of words on paper. And today, we have a young poet who has mastered this art beautifully. Welcome to BTB Young Author Series, where we celebrate young voices, fresh perspectives, and powerful stories. Today, we have with us an incredibly talented teen author who has poured her heart into a collection of poetry titled A Waltz in Chaos. It's a book I feel that sways between the beauty and the storm of emotions. And I personally love this book because I've been involved with the writer through its inception and that process of fine tuning it. And I've also mentored her at the Himalayan Writing Retreat. So I know how she's so profound in her thoughts and so articulate. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation with her. So without further ado, let's welcome the wonderful Shivika Saraugi. So let me get her on the stream. She's with us here today. Hi, Shivika. Good evening and welcome
Hello.
to Beyond Thoughts.
Good evening, and I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah. So, just to let the audience know, I met Shivika. I think it's been like a couple of years. It'll be a couple of years soon. And it's amazing, how in these 2 years itself, I feel she's evolved as a writer. She was already amazing when I met her. And when I read her draft of this collection of poetry, I was like, wow, for a teen to be such a deep thinker is amazing. But we'll dive into that a little later. Shivika, firstly, I just want to ask that do you have any memory of when you started writing for yourself? Like I'm sure as a child, you write a lot for school, of course. But do you remember when you like started writing for yourself?
So, this story is actually really, I think I would call it a little hilarious because I remember in the fourth grade, my English teacher, one of my favorite teachers, she started giving these notes to students who used to write really well. So, my best friend, she got a list of tips on how to write poetry, and unfortunately, I did not get that list. So, I was
Oh,
really jealous, and at during those days I thought to myself that okay, maybe even I should start writing poetry. And I started writing small pieces about trees, flowers, whatever I see around me.
right.
And then during COVID, when we were all at home, and I started reading a lot of authors, and I started reading a little bit of philosophy, then maybe I would say I started writing a lot for myself, and then slowly started showing it to my mom or everyone around me.
Oh, this is actually quite, I would say, an interesting story of how it all started. Something we don't hear often. So I think you really have a very, unique story to share there. That was nice to know. So Shivika, now tell me, writing over the years, and then how did you really think of Walls in Chaos? Of course, it took shape of a book with time, but then the initial set of poems, when you wrote it, what's the story behind that? Like, was it something you just did because you enjoyed writing poems and you thought of, sort of putting it together? Where did it all begin?
So again, this was not when I first started writing. I did not want to create a book, or that was not my sole purpose that I'm writing to create a book out of it. But it was just to express myself. And for me, poetry is like when I have a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions in my brain, I can
Right.
put it forth in poetry, like something which is something tangible and meaningful, and it's
Hmm.
very simply put forward. So I think it's a window to your soul. You can see what you're feeling, and in very simple words also, and there are very deep emotions conveyed. So that's how I first started writing. And what helped was reading poets. Like my favorite is Emily Dickinson, and reading other poets. So when I used to read, I got those ideas myself, and which helped me formulate my thoughts better.
Wow. I completely agree with you, Shivika, because I also actually started my journey with poetry when I was of your age, approximately, I think around that age. So I relate so much to what you were, sharing about it being a window to our soul, and how I think, especially at that age, there is lots going on, and I think it's a great way to express, to bring all that chaos out, which brings me to my next question, actually, because it's kind of related. That, teen years, they come with a storm of emotions. And now that I mentor so many kids, I have a preteen at home, I know, and I think I understand it more also. So how much of your own like personal experiences find their way into your poems? Like, do you take a lot from that, like your personal life, or say personal experiences or emotions, or some of it is also imagination?
I think most of the things are from what I see around me. It's not
Right.
necessary that whatever I write is happening to me, but maybe to
Right.
someone else around me, or something I just witnessed. So one of the poems in my book, it is about how certain things you just walk past and you ignore certain things which are very important. But I've not explicitly talked about that. I've talked about how and the conjunction is something which don't really we don't really highlight its value, but it is really important when you're forming a sentence. So that was
Right.
an idea which came to me in a literature class, where we just randomly we were reading a poem and we started counting that, oh, that so many times these words have been used and have not been used, and that's how I got that idea. So most of my poems are just these random conversations, and then suddenly it hits ki, oh, I can write something on this.
Fantastic. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think, and as a writer, often we draw from, like you said, not necessarily our experiences, but our observations and what people around us go through. So much of it comes from there, and poetry, especially, I feel also, particularly has a lot of that inner touch to the things that we experience. And that's why I think, like, if we say it's a window to our soul, I think that was a beautiful way of putting it. So do you have any personal favorite poem from your own book? Like, so I do have, because I was the one who also read a lot of those poems, and I know all the poems, like, I think by now, very well. So I do have my favorites, but I wanted to know whether you have a personal favorite of your own.
So my favorite is oh, Winter, My Dearest Friend. So why
Fantastic.
I really love this poem is because it is very simple. It's not something which even took me a lot of time to write, and
Yeah.
it's you can understand what I'm saying very easily, but
Yeah.
still there's a very profound meaning to it. And it's like I feel like the season itself, it mirrors the quiet introspection which I often find
Yeah.
myself drawn
Oh,
to. And this is something which a lot of my friends have also told me, that this is a very nice poem because it talks about the idea of finding comfort in solitude and embracing the stillness
right,
within.
right, right. Very relatable, of course. And I think the
Yeah.
way you put it across is really deep as well. But it's still, like you said, anybody will understand. It's not like something which they have to really, because there's a lot of times people have this impression about poetry that it's for really people who have this, like, thoughts which are very hi-fi, and they would be like, I don't understand that kind of poetry. But poetry is not necessarily something like that. It can sometimes be very simply told, but yet with such an impact. So, and I think that is something I like in your writing particularly. So audience, we will definitely be asking Shivika to read out a poem for us, just to get a sneak peek into the book, but we'll go to that a little later. I'm also sharing the link to her book. Please do check it out. It's a lovely book. And this, I'm not saying as a mentor, I'm saying this as a reader. It's a very genuine recommendation. So the link to the book is in the comments, so you can go and check it out. We'll also be sharing this later, post the live, when this video is up on the page. So yeah, go and check out A Waltz in Chaos, and you can thank me later for the recommendation. Shivika, now I want to talk to you a little bit about something which everybody asks me, because I mentor so many teens, that is it really possible for teenagers to take out time to write? So we have a lot of teenagers who love writing, who are learning from me, but often they talk about the challenges of genuine, like the genuine challenges of time, because you all also have studies, school projects, and so many things. So what has your approach been like to bring in that discipline? Because without it, you cannot really come out with a book. So definitely you must have sort of had some maybe routine or some discipline. So can you share how you handle that balance?
So I didn't have a set timetable that okay, on Mondays from this time to this time I'm going to dedicate to
Okay.
writing, because I personally feel like it's not something which you can force. And whenever I have tried to force myself to write something, I didn't quite like the piece. And I feel like it's a natural force of it's something which comes naturally to you. So I think writing is um it's not, you cannot tell yourself that you're supposed to write, or take out the time. It's just something when you're feeling tensed or when you're feeling anxious, you can start journaling maybe. And
Right.
I've heard a lot of authors say that you should write every day. So I've started to jot down all of my thoughts and just keep on writing. And after a while, it didn't feel like I'm taking time out. It felt like an escape from everything else and just a way of venting my own thoughts out.
Right, right, right. So I must say, Shivika, like, what are you? I mean, such mature thoughts, the way you articulate everything. I've not even heard adults be so clear about what they want to share. So, firstly, I think just kudos to even your parents. I think really and I know them, I think to raise her wonderfully, you've done a great job, and then to support her in her journey as a writer. I'm so grateful because that talent is being nurtured. And I always say that these things cannot happen without the parent support. So thank you, and great upbringing indeed, because I'm truly impressed with how you think, how you even like when you were just talking, I was like, wow, I've not heard adults also talk like this. uh, so I think that will be my next question, Shivika, that how has the family support made this journey happen? Because I of course have seen how they've truly done everything to ensure you get all, say, the access to resources, or say the right kind of guidance. So maybe you want to share about how that family support has been like for you, and how important it is, I think, for any teenager.
So I think family support is really important, because first you get the confidence in your family when people around you give you the criticism, or that this is really good. Then you
Right.
yourself start to believe it, that yes, maybe it is good, because the people who are closest to you, they can criticize your work honestly and they can appreciate it honestly. And for
Right.
me, I think everyone in my family was very supportive. So my mom had been there with me from the start of the journey, be it looking at drafts or the designing process of the book, or even when I first started writing, she would read all of my poems. And I think she's the first person who reads anything I ever write. And
Right.
then uh, a lot of my thoughts also are right now because of the conversations I've had with my dad. So during
Hmm.
COVID, we started discussing about literature or about anything. So I think because of him, I know a lot of Mirza Ghalib shairis also, and few of my poems are inspired by his shairi. And whenever we listen to songs, we then talk about the meaning, that oh, this is what this means. And then that's how my thoughts start to formulate and articulate, and then it helps me write it down properly.
Wow. I think that's also such a wonderful reminder to us, all of us, in fact, as parents, that how conversations can really shape our children. And I keep stressing so much on that, talk to the children, talk about everything under the sun. And I think that can truly make a major difference in how their own thinking evolves, how they grow as individuals. And I also try to do that with my child. So I think that is a very beautiful reminder, I would say, you just shared, with your own experience with your parents.
Yeah.
So Shivika, of course, like, we all want you to read out and a poem, any of your like favorite poems, probably, from the book. But before we go to that, just one last question, and then we'll do a rapid fire, and then we could end it with your recital. So one thing I want you to share is, when you so I feel that when we write poems, they often, like you said, your friends came out and said that they felt that they could relate. So I feel poetry does have that power, that it often makes people feel heard and seen. They feel like, okay, this is something which even I sort of relate to. So can you talk a little about that response to your book? Because it's been a while, that you've shared it with, say, your friends or teachers or even others. um, how has the response been like? So, like you shared about your friends, could you share maybe a couple of more such feedbacks that you might have received? That has it reached out to people in the way that you had intended it to?
I think, fortunately, it has. So my entire intention of writing this, or exploring the themes which I've done, was just a way of asking people around me that, this is my way of looking at the world. Can you relate with this? Just a question which I wanted to ask my readers. So I think it works as a poetry works as a bridge between the reader and the writer, and I think that because of my poems, people could look at things from a different perspective, or could relate to them maybe. And I think the titles, A Waltz in Chaos, does not um put so chaos is thought of to be a very negative word, or
Yes.
something which does not always signify something pretty or amazing. But I wanted the book to be beautifully chaotic. This
It
is
is.
I think so. That's what people have also told me, that you're waltzing through, and you're dancing through the chaos which life offers, and at the end it all just works out. So that's how my book also wraps, putting together all of the thoughts which I've explored in just the last section of the book.
Oh wow, that's wonderful, and I think nothing better for a writer, right, than to have received that sort of response for the book. And you being such a young writer, I feel at this point, I feel to achieve something like this is wonderful. I'm very proud of you, and I'm sure, like as you grow and write more, you will just keep getting better. So I'm, really happy to be a part of this journey. So, Shivika, now we'll do a fun rapid fire. This is just to know you a little better at a personal level. It's just fun. Don't worry, it's not going to be like the rapid fire of coffee with current. I anyway don't have a hamper. But yes, it's just very sweet questions, nothing controversial. Okay. So the first question is, I think I know the answer, but still, poetry or prose if you had to choose one?
Poetry.
Yeah, you already made that choice anyway. Your debut book is a poetry book, but I must tell people that she's also great at prose, because her stories also I've read, and she's brilliant. The way she puts everything together in the story, from language to the messaging to the core plot and all. She's fantastic even at that. So hopefully someday we'll also see a fiction book out from Shivika. The next one is, would you prefer sunrise writing or midnight scribbling?
uh I think midnight scribbling.
Oh, I think we writers are like that. Like even I'm more of a like midnight scribbler. Okay. Is there any poetry by some other poet which you really like? Like, sometimes some poems just stay with us. So any such poem which you always think of first when you think of poetry?
So it's Not in Vain by Emily Dickinson. I
Uh,
love the poem a lot because she talks about how even helping a small um, bird can just fulfill her life, and I love that
yes.
idea. It's something which I have pinned on my softboard also on my desk, and I look
Oh,
at it and just I really really love that poem.
that's really lovely and a great choice indeed. I agree with you. It's even one of like my favorites too. Okay. If you're so this, I don't know if you can think of something instantly, but suppose you had to choose a theme song for your book, like as a book trailer or any other way of promoting. Is there any song which comes to your mind that you think would be suitable for your book?
Since the title has a waltz, so I
Yeah.
think um, a very classical piano,
Right. Probably.
something related to that playing in the background.
Yes. For some reason, I mean, though it may not be the one in your mind, but when I think of a Walls in Chaos, and for some reason, the song of Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, which is, huge hit and a
Yeah.
classic. I don't know why that comes. I think it just goes with that, feel of that slow, yet, that really melodious, peaceful kind of feeling, yet a chaos inside, maybe kind of a thing. So, yeah, nice. Okay. Um, okay, do you feel when you write there's a word which you tend to overuse? Like I have some words which I tend to use more, like it just comes naturally to me. So is there any word which you feel you tend to kind of like overuse in your poems or any other forms of writing?
I think in my poems, I tend to overuse the conjunction for. So this happened or I was doing this. And
Yeah.
I think in every poem I have used that word. So it's that.
Okay, okay, lovely. And the last one is, if there's one poet, either alive or dead, you could have coffee with and talk to, whom would you choose?
I think I've taken her name a lot,
So Emily
these
Dickinson. Okay.
past events, Emily Dickinson. Yeah. Because
Okay,
her
fantastic.
poetry, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, please share. I think you were saying something about her
No,
poetry.
I was just saying that I really admire her ability to capture complex emotions in just a few lines. And I definitely think that if I sit down and I have coffee with her, I will just have a notepad with me and keep noting down the tips and tricks which she gives me
Yes,
to do.
yes, yes, absolutely. And I think, nothing like learning from the legends. So I think
Yeah.
you did great at the rapid fire, Shivika. If I had a hamper, you would have won the hamper. So before you do the reading, I'll take up an audience question because I think that's something interesting. So Gunjan wants to know whether you were always clear about pursuing writing, or like, did you think of different things and then finally come down to writing?
I was not clear about pursuing writing because I used to write for myself and I used to write because I had a lot which I wanted to put forward, and sometimes it's not easy for me to say what I'm feeling. It's easier to write, so that's why I started writing, and then
Okay.
gradually it just came to a
Yeah.
book.
Lovely. And she also asked, though I don't think you did, but yeah, we can, maybe take up the question that did you feel pressured academically to perform well in all subjects? Sometimes we have our subjects which we are strong at, and then maybe one of, like, I was always good at studies and good at all the subjects, but somehow I was never really so good at, social studies, for example. So, yeah, like we always have those subjects. So, do you feel academic pressure, Shivika?
I think the normal amount of academic pressure is there, but it's not overburdening because even the subjects which I'm studying right now, those are subjects which I love and it just comes
Okay.
naturally to me. So like physics I cannot study, so studying physics she was always a chore, so I had to push myself. But other than that, bio, history, English, I have psychology, these subjects I love. So whenever I sit down to study, it's just that I'm having fun or I'm just reading to gain knowledge and not for the sake of getting those marks.
That's so beautifully said, Shivika. I think you really, gave such wonderful answers. I had a great time chatting with you. So let's all hear Shivika read any of the poems from her book. So we'll also get a glimpse, like I said, and then you all can go and order the book and check out the poems in the book itself. But Shivika, which one are you choosing? Are you choosing the one that you named as your favorite?
Yeah, I think I'll choose Winter, my dearest friend.
Okay, ciao. So yeah, over to you. You can share the poem with us.
So it goes. Some say it's the cold, others claim the ice. Some talk about the sickness, the rest complain about the night. It's too dark, they wail. It's too dark, it hurts my eyes. But, my dear friend Winter, let the weak run away from beauty. I say, let your warmth be cold to them and snatch away the snowfall that sheds from your eyes. If appreciation is what they lack for you, make the winds howl and the sky scream. Don't turn warm to please them. They cannot find the warmth in you.
That's so, like, like I said, sometimes the simplest of words can
Yeah.
really hit with such an impact. I think this is one of those poems, and it's very very close to the kind of poems actually I like in terms of the style.
Hmm.
So great work, Shivika, and I once again all the
Thank
best for the book and even for your future endeavors. I'm sure like you're going to churn out more. And audience, a reminder once again to order Shivika's book. We'll be also updating the link in the caption of this live video, because I know a lot of our audience watch these videos later also. So post the live also when this video is made available on the page. We'll be updating the caption with the book link. Otherwise, you can just go to Amazon and type the walls in chaos, and the book will come up. So thank you so much, Shivika, for being with us here today and sharing such lovely thoughts and talking about your writing journey.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me. I had a great time.
Great. I'm glad. So, goodbye to the audience as well. And good night. There are a lot of people wishing you in the comments. Maybe, you could check them out later with your parents. So, all the best and bye. And bye, audience. Thank you for joining.